The Joey Show.
Morning, folks. Welcome to The Joey Show. I'm Joey Avery. This is the final episode of our election coverage. The election has been decided. As I sit here, we have a new 47th president of the United States. That president is Donald J. Trump. I am here. If you are watching, you will see I am wearing a tie. I have my gold outfit on. Donald Trump has promised a golden age of America. And if there's one thing we know about how he likes to treat media figures who disagree with him and maybe have said negative things about him in the past, I would just say that I'm here to suck that cock, sir. All right. I have been very clear. This podcast is a self-serving platform from the beginning. I'm trying to get a leg in with this administration. I waited too long, and I was critical, and now it is time to suck that cock and get a position in the cabinet. All right, I'm ready for it. Now, everyone has covered this election. Everyone's talked about it. Everyone's made all sorts of predictions. People were predicting a very close race. We didn't make an official prediction here at the Joey Show, but we did get, and I want to stress this point, every single thing correct. And I just want to hang my hat on that. What did I say? I said that this election was about hate and who people don't like, and people showed up, and I've seen it. I have some clips. We will look at some clips. We have some Portnoy. We have some Elon. We have the Trump supporters telling you what they support, and very little of it is his actual policies, and a very large amount of it is we don't like the left because of this. And I do think that's what people saw in this election. But there's also one very important reason that absolutely nobody has covered. The presidential race in the United States comes down to one thing, one single thing. People think maybe it's policy. People thought, some people will tell you that this was the election of immigration. People who got their projections wrong were saying this is going to be the election of abortion. I said here that it's the election of maybe hate. It's the election of podcasts. And wasn't I right about that? But none of that is important as the one single major identifier in all of the last elections. And I don't know why we didn't realize it until now. It is Rizz. It's Rizz. It's always been Rizz. It is Sigma Skibbity Toilet Rizz. I don't actually know if that's double negatives or if that makes it a positive, or I don't know what type of Rizz it is, but it is Rizz. That's what it is. I went through, I wanted to check. I wanted to verify my theory. This is a scientific endeavor here at the Joey Show. We fact check here sometimes when I feel like it. And so I went through the last elections, and let's just go through and see what you think. Okay? Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Donald Trump has the Rizz advantage. Donald Trump wins. Now, this right out of the gate is probably one of the largest challenges to the entire concept. Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. Now, a lot of you are already saying, hey, wait, Biden does not have the same Rizz as Trump. 2020 was a different time. 2020 was a very different time. One, aberration, COVID. Two, Trump was kind of in raving lunatic mode. He stays there a lot, but he wasn't as fun as he is right now. He was mad, he was angry, he was flailing, he was struggling. And Joe Biden did have a certain Rizz that I think people forget. He had not fully lost it yet. He was still very on the ball, and he kind of had a no more of that malarkey, Jack. And people liked that, and people were done with Donald Trump. He's a less popular figure than you would believe. So Biden wins that one. Let's go back to this. We have Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton. Rizz advantage. Donald Trump. Okay. Barack Obama versus Mitt Romney. Rizz advantage. Barack Obama. Okay. Barack Obama, John McCain. Rizz advantage. Barack Obama. George W. Bush, John Kerry. Rizz advantage. George W. Bush. Look at this. Need I remind you? George W. Bush, Al Gore, maybe a little bit closer, but the main thing in that conversation was, I'd rather have a beer with the guy. You know what that is? That is early 2000s speak for Rizz advantage. Bill Clinton, Bob Dole. Bruh. Come on. That's not even close. Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush. Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush versus Michael Dukakis. Who is Michael Dukakis? Good question. Let's look at him. Holy fuck, look at that guy. No, thank you. If you're just listening to the program, I'm just going to say nose-eyebrow combination disqualifying. Maybe some great ideas. Maybe he knows a lot about policy. No one votes for policy. You think people want to do their homework and take their vitamins? No. People want to go out, crush brews, okay, and vote for whoever has more Rizz. That's what politics is. It is a high school popularity contest. Ronald Reagan versus Walter Mondale. Walter Mondale, resting serial killer eyes. Fine. Ronald Reagan, movie star. Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter. I mean, guys, so Ronald Reagan has more Rizz than Jimmy Carter. Okay, who did Jimmy Carter face? How did he win? Gerald Ford. Jimmy Carter, more Rizz than Ford. So now we're kind of getting out of my depth here. I think Nixon, McGovern, maybe we have a battle here, but we're at a point now where we've just gone too far, okay, where I can't really accurately assess Rizz across generations. It makes a difference. Now, this is obviously a very serious thing. Some people are very happy today. A lot of people are very upset today, understandably so. Especially if you care about specific issues, if you care about abortion, if you care about the treatment of undocumented immigrants, if you care about government corruption and what Trump is going to potentially do in terms of deregulating crypto and other scams that he's already involved in that him and his family stand to spend money on. Sure, it's a very sad day. That's not what we're doing here at this show. Okay? I have my own feelings, I have my own emotions, but I set that aside to deliver the type of important journalism that's fun here at the Joey Show. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to have fun because that's what this is about. If you want to make change in the political environment, you need to be having more fun. You need to exude maximum Rizz at all times. That's my message to you. You want to be effective in your life. You want to be effective at your job. You want to make change in the world. Dial your motherfucking Rizz up, stupid, or you're screwed. You have to dial it in, okay? That's why I have a bucket hat on. It's why I have sunglasses on. It's why I've been exuding this vibe since I came out of the pussy. You have to have Rizz, all right? It matters. Think about this, okay? I was thinking about this. You remember the Pickup Artists? Some book. I think I've mentioned it on this show before. Because when I was in college, I was single. All right, and a friend of mine was like, there's this book. I have talked about it. I talked about it in one of the episodes where I was sitting under a tree. The Pickup Artist. It's this book. The sides of the pages are painted gold. And essentially, the whole concept is, I'm going to teach you how to get chicks. And it's a bunch of really gross, really disgusting tactics that are supposed to trick the small-brained female, I'm paraphrasing, into sucking your cock. If you go through these are things people would portend are ways to Rizz people up. Obviously, I've said Rizz 45 times. If you don't know what it is, it's a very cool, very young, very hip piece of slang that's probably already no longer cool, young, and hip. That is basically just short for charisma. It means having that fucking... You know what it is. A little je ne sais quoi. A little bit of that French mouth. You know what I mean? I better for kissing. You got to have Rizz. Now, the Pickup Artist has a few rules. They're weird rules. They're meant to trick women. But what are some of them? Think about it. Ooh, peacocking. Peacocking. Who is better at peacocking than Donald Trump? He has had, and I'm speaking from experience, a stupid but recognizable haircut, hoo-ha, just like daddy, for too long of a time. It is a trademark. It's ridiculous, but people remember it. They think about it. It sticks out. I've been thinking about changing my haircut to something that looks better, but I haven't done it yet because I still need people to scroll by my reels and go, oh, that guy, and then recognize me on a comedy show flyer. I should wear less hats than I do, but I like them. It's the only way to add an extra piece to the wardrobe, and that's very important to me. That's one of my Rizz factors. Always got to be looking kind of nice. Always got to be. Donald Trump, peacocks. That's number one. That's like the number one pickup artist thing. So if you ever see like a weird, like nerdy looking guy with like a crazy pink mohawk or wearing a stupid furry top hat, looking like he's going to like, fuck you in his Burning Man tent, that guy read a book because he didn't know how to get poontang on his own. So he's good at peacocking. What's another thing? What's the main thing? Let's remember the pickup artist. The next main thing, negging. It's negging. What did he do? How did he win the Hispanic vote? Respectfully, he played very hard to get. I've never tried that strategy. I've never been at a party and had some guy walk in and been like, that guy's a rapist. And then, he walks by a little bit later and I'm like, nah, I love you. I love you. I like the hardworking people. Maybe that works because maybe you're so taken aback that then you go, oh, actually, he does like me. I think that's the concept behind negging in this sexual arena. What are some of the other ones here? I found a list online. I don't have these top of mind because you can't teach game as natural and flawless as your boy, plus I'm married. Let's see. Compliance tests. Get me that drink of water turns into pick me up 24/7 and don't say shit. Compliance tests. That's what he does. Will you do this for me? Will you do that for me? Hey, call up the governor. I need you to find some votes. That is a very bad thing. It's not funny, but this is a comedy show, and we're speaking truth. Truth to power. Now, so look at that. I mean, that's right there. Trauma reminders. He's big about, yeah. Men will make light joke about trauma. You tell them in your vulnerable state. They'll make light of it and gain control over you. Boom. He does that all the time. I mean, these are just exactly what he does. So have I come up with the defining metric for future elections? The answer to that is obviously yes. The answer to that is yes, because the polls were wrong. I listened to a bunch of experts leading up to this. They were like, this is going to be close. I went out with some friends in New York. I would say not a lot of them were in voting for Trump. So we went out to a bar, and then very quickly it was like, I don't think this is going to be a celebratory evening. So now here we are. He has won. He has won again. And we have entered my least favorite part of the political calendar, which is watching some of the worst people you know be happy. God, I hate that. I hate that so much. Even when it's the person that I voted for, I see the most annoying person ever posting Instagram stories about it, and I'm going, hey, don't forget, you're a fucking idiot. And you're not right about that, even though you won. But everyone's been very animated about this one. I think, and I don't mean to be a both sides guy, but there are good takeaways for both parties in this election. If you are a Trump person, you're very happy today. You're gonna win the popular vote. You've won. You're going back to the White House. You don't have to go to jail. That's a good day. And I guess they've taken the Senate so they can do whatever shit they want to do. Or if that's nothing, I don't really know what is going to happen. On the Democrat side, I think you needed a nice steady blowout here because I have a very novel concept. It's a light pitch. It's something that I would, if we have people from the Democratic Party who listen to this program and work, if Kamala Harris is listening to this or Barack Obama, or Michelle. I know Michelle loves the show. Or Hunter Biden, who we do know loves the show. Shout out to the 12. Here's just a thought, a kind of a fun piece of advice that I came up with that I think what might work is to have a good candidate in the general election. Consider holding a primary where people vote. It's an idea. It's radical. I don't know. It's kind of like a future classic. It's a retro banger. It's, is it backwards looking? Is it forwards looking? Is it revolutionary? Is it genius? Is it all of those things? I think it is, because it might be that instead of trying to assume you know what the people will want, you let them guide you. That's it. It's an option. It just kind of helps you, instead of going, damn, were we out of touch, going, oh yeah, we let people pick, and then we used proven enthusiasm to determine future success. That's a thought. It's almost like what's happening in the comedy world. It used to be like Netflix or HBO was like, that person's the one. You are anointed. You are a king, queen, or whatever. And now we will spread you to the masses. And now they go, all right, post your shit on YouTube. See if you can gain your own traction. Once you're already famous, we'll give you a pittance and you can be on our platform. And obviously, there's frustrations with that. It would be fun to just have somebody in a back room go, you're the one, give you a tap, and then give you a fucking career. But no, you actually have to find out if the people will fuck with you, and that's kind of what happened here. But as the next several days will all be hand-wringing about what the Democrats have done wrong, what they need to fix, and I do think that sort of soul-searching is a very positive direction for them and potentially the country. We also do have to talk about some things on the right that just now are considered a basic success that I found kind of annoying. All right? Everyone, I have so many people in my life, intelligent people who are so dumb as well, and then a mix, people who are very dumb but think they're intelligent. This is the best type of person to be, by the way. That's who you really want to be, is an idiot who is quite certain that you're a genius. Now, I recognize that is rich, coming from a man wearing a gold B-boy cap and vest over a shirt and tie, analyzing the United States presidential election and telling you I'm the only one who got it right and that it's all about Rizz. I understand that some of you might be thinking that's you, but I assure you I spend a lot of time thinking I'm an idiot too. I promise. I promise I do. But who you really want to be in life is a dolt who thinks you're a genius. Because that's the sweet spot. Because if you're actually smart enough to be close to genius, then your existence is sad because you're thinking about all these horrible things like reality and your own fallibility and mortality, and you have to second guess if what you're saying is right. You have to do research on things to test against your own assumptions, and you don't want to do any of that. You just want to be a fucking idiot who's like, I'm the smart one now, bucko. That's who you want to be. And I have a lot of those people on my Instagram stories feed posting things today like, yeah, I get it. I am a genius. I'm happy you feel that way, and I'm glad that you're having this experience, and I hope that it emboldens you to become a bigger idiot and more of a piece of shit, because that is usually what happens. But the point is, life is really about your own first-person experience. So who cares if I think that? Who cares anything? It's all about if you can convince people that you have enough Rizz to make your worldview seem correct. It's not about policy. It's not about reality. Okay? And this is going on a lot right now. Now, a lot of people are viewing Kamala's decision to not go on Rogan as a mistake. I think given what happened, she obviously should have done it. If she knew she had nothing to lose, maybe she would have. But I don't know if she's the type of candidate who would have delivered an appearance on there that would have worked. And the problem with his platform, granted it is the largest one, is he is very, very clearly, in the bag for Elon and Trump. And this came out through, I think this interview, at least on my feeds, was shared more than the Trump Rogan interview, and it was the Trump Elon interview, and everyone was like, this is actually the message. This is important. This is what you should listen to. And if you're a person on the left and you don't listen to this and you're just like, oh, you watch it, you gotta pay attention to know where people are coming from on some of this. And people viewed this as a very intelligent and smart discourse between two titans and two of now, already before, but now certainly the most powerful men in the world. Here's a piece of it that I didn't love.
I've been politically active until this election. And the reason I've been politically active this election is because I think if we don't elect Trump, I think we will lose we will lose democracy in this country. We will lose the two-party system. And let me explain why. So there's only like six or seven swing states. The margin of victory in those states is small, often like 10 or 20,000 votes. What the Democrat administration has been doing is importing vast numbers of illegals into swing states. You can look at the numbers on the actual government website, meaning you don't take my word for it. You'll just look at the numbers as reported by the government, which is controlled by the Democrats. And what we're seeing is triple-digit increases in the number of illegals in every swing state. In some cases, 700% increases. These are gigantic numbers. So if you have a state that has a 10 or 20,000 vote margin, and you put 200,000 illegals into that state, you 10x you swamp the. It's not a swing state anymore. It's going to vote blue, and then once the swing states vote blue, there is no election anymore. There's only a Democrat primary.
And that's fascinating because there's not even a Democrat primary these days. But what I found interesting about, so as I take that at face value, that is a compelling case. It's a fair concern, but I looked into it and I cannot find this backed up. Beyond that, I don't even understand the full argument because he goes on to say, or actually, it's not that he goes on to say this. Trump is winning illegals can't vote, and Trump is winning the Hispanic vote. Now, this is where it gets into like the whole voter fraud thing, which is a whole nother thing that we don't need to unwind here because I'm trying to make this show fun. But at a very quick level, the easier it is for people to vote, the more that favors Democrats. The harder it is for people to vote, the more that favors Republicans. So you have this sliding scale of what should we actually accept or not. And I do agree with some of the right-wing perspective on this. I'm like, why not have an ID thing? I feel like that seems fine to me. I'm totally okay with that. But the idea that the Democrats have a coordinated effort to ship migrants to swing states, which obviously didn't even work at all, and those people wouldn't be allowed to vote. I don't see the proof of that, and it's getting trotted out very frequently. And this is the type of stuff that Rogan would drill in on. The problem is when he has Musk on, they don't say one critical thing. They talked for 2.5 hours about why they were voting for Trump, and the entire conversation was because of the hate for Democrats. And I told you on this very show that this election would be decided by hate. If it's about someone like Joe Rogan taking a fine-tooth comb through Trump, looking at his business entanglements, looking at some of the stuff that he said during the last term, some of the stuff that he tried during his last term, some of the undemocratic things that he's done during the last term, then perhaps he would go that way. That's what you get when I watch a John Oliver. It's let's look at Trump and figure out why we hate him and use a lot better, more source data, frankly. But this is not what people decided based on. We have Dave Portnoy giving his theory of the case, which is basically exactly what I said as well. It's not a pro-Trump case. It's a fuck you case to everyone that they think is. The Democrats have become the party of the elites, is how people see it. Whether that's right or wrong, it came out in the wash yesterday.
A lot of people are asking, like, how did Trump get more votes than he got last time? Well, here's the answer. Because people like myself, independents or moderates, the Democrats gave us no choice. The Democrats gave us no choice. That was the worst campaign, and their pure arrogance and their moral superiority have driven people away. If you say you're voting for Trump, suddenly you're a Nazi, you're Hitler, you're garbage. Enough. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's racists in the party, just like there's fucking crazy people and assholes and racists in the Democratic Party, all right? But millions and millions and millions and millions of people vote for Trump. He won clear, he won decisive. So when you call us that, and when you say that, you're calling the majority of the country racist, Hitlers, Nazis. I don't think you get the words of what that means. You are alienating all this middle ground people by acting like you're better than us, smarter than us, and frankly, insulting our intelligence. Trump's the threat to democracy. That was the entire Democratic campaign. It wasn't about policy because everyone knew we want change. We're not happy with the borders, the Middle East, the economy, inflation. And Kamala consistently said she was no different than Joe Biden, wouldn't do anything different than Joe Biden, last person in the room. Her pitch to the people was, Trump is Hitler, Trump is bad, he's a dictator. Again, we're not stupid.
So there you have it. I think that's a large portion of what this is. And if you're not a Trump person, you wake up and you go, how could this happen? I'm not as shocked that it occurred as most people living in a coastal elite state such as New York City. Sorry, it's where I live at. But I'm not as surprised because I have to do comedy all over the country. I was just in Long Island, which is a drive from New York City, and it was feeling somewhere between 90 to 95% Trump support. There is a large part of the country that whether or not they'll say they like his policies, to be honest, do I actually think people really care for corporate taxes? No. Do I actually think that people think tariffs are going to work when you understand the economics of it? No, I think they just assume he's probably like going to use it as a deal and leverage or something. They just see him, they know him, they like him, and they hate everything else. They don't like that there's been proven coordination between Democrats and large social media platforms. They don't like that. To be honest, they don't, and this doesn't mean it's right, but they're like, I don't like the gay stuff. And you know what? I don't love that because I support my gay brothers and sisters, and I think that that's become a very unfortunate issue. And it wasn't that surprising. I'm online a lot. You see Trump all over the place. I'm in the country outside the city a lot. You see Trump all over the place, and people were just like, nah. So here we are. Trump has main character energy. And when you love the main character in a show or in a story, you will let them get away with whatever they do. I love watching The Sopranos. I think I've talked about this. I only have 5 thoughts in my head. Watching The Sopranos, Tony Soprano, charming guy. Eats the gabagool. He's a good guy. He wants to know, hey, what happened? What happened to the good times? What happened to the bad times? Gabagee, I smack you upside your head. We love Tony. What does Tony do? He cheats, he steals, he murders. But we're like, get away with it. Tony is the main character. I'm watching Peaky Blinders. Cillian Murphy, hot as fuck. Killing, murdering, being a bad guy. Want him to win. Why? Hot, main character, Rizz. It's what happened. All right? This election was decided by Rizz. It has been decided. It is over. And I am willing to storm whatever I need to get a spot. All right? Fine. You know what? Scrap all the episodes where I was very critical of Trump and the fact that I remain critical of him, and I don't think that he's as selfless as a good guy as everyone thinks. Scrap all that. Put me in the cabinet, dude. I'm in. It is the boys are taking the White House, dude. For the speech at the beginning to be like, Rogan, Theo Von, fucking Aiden Ross and the Nelk boys. It's the frattiest White House of all time. How does Donald Trump not drink? He is a game of beer pong. What's happening at that White House? My goodness gracious, folks. Well, here we are. I'm sure this will get nothing but really pleased commentary from everybody. But I had to cover the election. I had to. I was forced to. All right? It was important. I was mentioning the Elon interview. The thing I think about Elon Musk is when he bought Twitter, I invested because I was like, we're going to get cashed out on this soon. So I threw some money in on him taking it public at what he said. I think it was 54.20 or something. It was stock was maybe at like 47. There was a delta there. I threw some in. I was like, I'm going to ride this out. Then it went sour. People were like, Elon he doesn't know what he's doing. He fucked this up, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes on Twitter. You follow his Twitter. He's tweeting kind of like boomer shit. I watched this Joe Rogan interview. He's saying things that are just weird, like this right here.
I was there, and the degree to which they attacked Trump at that White House Correspondents' Dinner was really it was so over the top. It was like making everyone uncomfortable.
Really,
it was really over the top. I mean, I think it's like sort of a passing joke of like, a few passing jokes are fine, but they twisted the knife big on Trump. In that, and you could see Trump just getting like angrier and angrier and more upset.
I wonder if
it's like, man, this is not good karma, That's what I was thinking at the time. I was two tables away from Trump, and I'm looking on like, man, this is too much,
Well, it's kind of crazy what they made out of that, because that's the kind of guy that if you tell him he can't do something, he's gonna.
So there it is. Rogan at one point actually does challenge this. This was fascinating to me because it's Elon basically stating that the people were so mean to Trump and it was unfair and it was so mean, and this big, scary media and Obama establishment was attacking poor Donald Trump. And it was not fair and it was mean. And what is going on? And Elon felt bad. He felt like that is bad karma. Bad karma is coming back to them for attacking poor Donald Trump. The reason they were attacking him, which Rogan, to his credit, does mention at some point in this episode, is because he was saying that the black president was born in Africa. He was saying that's why he was leading that movement. That's why. And so this, I think, is a microcosm of the whole thing. Rogan and Elon Musk and Trump feel like they've been victimized by this large force. And so they are the ones who are going to fight back, who are going to save things. And that force is a large Democratic establishment that is beating them down. They are the victims. Now, the problem with that is that they are three of the most powerful men in the world. And Elon, he's got to be being disingenuous there. He has to know that at some level. And I thought, okay, maybe he doesn't get it. I think he's a very shrewd operator. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. With Twitter, with this, where he is now, he had power. He was a billionaire. The projects he's working on are good projects. Give him that. He's one of the richest men in the world. He wanted celebrity. He wanted power. He systematically got it done. He bought Twitter. He changed how it looks. He embedded himself with the Trump campaign. He works with Rogan, who's the biggest platform. They have reset up these structures of power, and they are now more powerful than those things that they think are oppressing and attacking them. Now, of course, the fight between the mainstream media and them, and then people who are like actually victimized in society, people are not really, helping them. But that's what this is. And I think as much as I, on an earlier episode, was like, I don't know if he's like lost it all. I think he knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. I think his plan worked. It was very successful. And now here we are. We live in a new world where that's the center of power. But that's enough on that. You've heard enough about the election. Let's talk about some other news. There is other news. There is good news. What do we have here? We have a report from The Guardian. Shocking and dispiriting fall in children reading for pleasure. The kids are not reading anymore, and to that I say, good. That is not how you develop Rizz, okay? And that's what we've discussed here on this episode. If you want to be a successful politician, it's not about reading. It's not about knowing things. It's not about being right about things. It's about having Rizz, and you can't develop Rizz through a fucking book. That's the problem with the pickup artist. But children, yes, National Literacy Trust. Imagine working there. Boring. You want to go to happy hour? Shh. National Literary Trust finds only 35% of 8 to 18-year-olds enjoy reading in their spare time, a sharp drop on last year to the lowest figure yet recorded. Well, you can't play Fortnite inside of a fucking book, can you? Kamala's Fortnite skin, we covered it on the last episode. I think it had only 400 or so users. It was a gunless map. So this is not how it's done. All right, I'm sorry. I know one last thing. I have to cover this. There's a video. There's a video here of Kamala. She's talking to a voter here. She's on the phone convincing. They did vote. That's right. She shows off the phone. It's on the camera. It's on the camera. She is not on the phone. Some debate online was surrounding, well, maybe there's like a little bar that, first of all, very hard to open up the camera app because if you go video, you're fucking the whole call up. But there was no green bar showing a call. That is a full-on camera app, a final stumble in a race that was defined by them, but the 8-ball was stacked against her. They shouldn't have done it the way that they did. The point is people aren't reading, and it's a good thing. It's a bad thing. Obviously, reading is good for you. I wish the kids would read more, but how are we supposed to convince them to read when YouTube exists? There's Minecraft videos to watch. All their favorite. There was a time when if you wanted to get your penis or vagina or butthole or titties or face, whatever you wanted sucked. You know what you did? You wrote a book. What? That is crazy to me. You just sat down and you wrote a book and you're like, little Jimmy went off into the forest. He had a long adventure in that forest. He met all sorts of bears and wonderful people, and here's what it meant about life. I guess maybe children's books weren't getting your dick sucked. Maybe something more Hemingway. It was more like a man in a leather coat sits in cafes all day, and he meets all sorts of wonderful, cool women, Parisian women, ones with nice, hairy boxes because of the air, or whatever it was. That's what you did. You just wrote stories about people thinking about and living life. And you blew people's minds, and they sat and they read it by candlelight. Because the only thing in the past was British, as we know. They sat and they read it by candlelight, and they're like, he's got a brain I'd like to fuck. He's got a brain I'd like to fuck. Call me sister. What accent is this? Is this Scottish? Is this Irish? I'm just Conor McGregor trying to suck off a writer. Oh, fucking hell, bring your cook over here. Look at the moon. Look at the moon. Can I pull up? I'm going to pull up the McGregor moon scene. McGregor looks at moon. Look at the moon there. McGregor moon. I know I'm off topic. I'm doing a weave. Let me into the administration. I'm doing a weave. I weaved in as president, I weaved out, and now I'm back. All right, Conor McGregor goes crazy.
Nah, here. The phone isn't doing this justice, folks, yeah? Get out and have a look at that moon quick. Is it... The moon is on the bleeding low level. It's like the moon... Surely the moon's going to go up. Look at the thing. Have a look at that moon, folks. Quick. Out your window if you can.
It's just a moon,
That is the
folks.
maddest. It's like the sphere. It's like I'm looking at the sphere, yeah?
He's just looking at a moon rising.
What the fuck?
So on the bleeding low level. Look at the moon. Look at the moon.
What is with these phones, man? Look at that moon quick, everyone, yeah? Tell us.
God,
Is it going up? It's actually going up. That's usually the moon's up there, like. It's down there. It's at me eye level. and it's huge.
Yeah.
And it's going up.
This
Yeah, look at that
video
now. You
is
see that?
the best advertisement for cocaine that I've ever seen. Like, people, coke, you shouldn't do it. It's bad for you. I can't do it. Look at Immune. It's bad for you. You shouldn't do it. There's fentanyl. It ruins your brain. It makes you want to die the next day. All those things. That's why you do it. Because sometimes, look at Immune. It's on a bleeding low level. The phone isn't doing it justice. You sometimes can't get that excited about Immune without a little bit of snow, okay? And that's what Conor McGregor is doing. So anyway, back to my point about reading. That's what it used to be about. You'd just be reading a book going, damn, that person has thoughts about life. Isn't that sick? And that's where people's minds were. And now it's just... Now we spend all our time watching stupid YouTube videos and dumb shit, and it's like, okay, yeah, I guess that guy has I don't know, kids like Minecraft people watch. That's what Hitler's kids played with, Minecraft. But it was a better time. Okay, and it's cool that used to be cool. There was a whole slogan that they tried to pass off on us. Reading is cool. It wasn't. The people who read sucked, but it is, and you don't realize it till later in life. I like it now. I'm enjoying it. It's a great way to decompress from everything. It's a great way to understand deeper levels of things instead of just reacting to them all the time. In a society where the most popular content, where the most dollars and eyeballs and money spent seemingly is increasingly reaction-based content. I've reacted to podcasts on here. Commentary channels are huge on YouTube. Hell, you could even say most of politics is reactionary, certainly on the Trump end. But does it make you feel better? No, the answer is no. So yes, kids, get out there and read. And I'm telling you this in the only format that you'll see it, a fucking video. But get out there and read. Do it for yourself. And bring back fucking writers. Someone, I don't know who's got to go suck off Stephen King to bring this back and make it cool again. But what happened to just being like a toxic guy who drank during the day but was really smart with the pen, and everyone's like, he's so fucking different and like difficult and like fucking like, dude, he's just like, you just wouldn't understand his brain. He's like self-destructive. Now we all have to be good people. Now I have to go swing kettlebells just to feel okay. The answer is yes. I'm cooked. I'm not mysterious and cool. I'm just a man trying to get by and do the right thing, okay? But kids aren't reading, and it's not cool anymore, and it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe it will come back. But writers need more Rizz. That's the only way. Speaking of Rizz, I got to go see David Gilmour at Pink Floyd. Wife bought us tickets. Incredible time. David Gilmour, if you don't know, a key member of a little band you might have heard of called Pink Floyd. And holy shit, was this concert cool. I'm so used to, I love a good EDM show. Look at Immune over there. I love a good EDM show. I love a good hip-hop show. I love all of that, but this was different. This was from the first note. This dude stands up there, one spotlight on him, playing guitar, and you're in. And you're in for 2.5 hours. And it was unbelievable. And some of the songs that they were playing, the Pink Floyd, the stuff that they actually talked about, I know, I'm sure there's great music and I'm missing some of it. But to me right now, music exists on a, like, it's basically either lo-fi beats to chill and study to, or full on, or songs about, sipping codeine and having anal sex with several women in the same night. I don't know why it had to be their anus instead of their beautiful boxes. I don't know. I'm just saying that it was nice to hear some music that was like, isn't life challenging? Remember how different things were when you were a kid? Our experience is fragile as we get older, but what a beautiful thing that is. And these were all the moments with lyrics. This motherfucker was talking to me with his guitar. He was playing live. He was sitting there playing his guitar, and I was like, I know exactly what that guitar is saying to me. I was one with the guitar. Look at the Immune over there. Look at Immune over there. I was not on any substances. I had 2 drinks. Sue me. It was a Monday night. Daddy was letting his hair down. Went to a bar for the election last night. Yeah, I already mentioned that. Yeah, people, the vibes. Election, not a great thing to watch at a bar. it turns out. So I was kind of fired up when the night started because I love the graphics packages. Everyone, and I mean everyone, A+ graphics packages. Really good stuff. Made both candidates look way hotter than they are. Good for you. I would love to buy these people and have them make me a thumbnail. Make daddy hot, please. But the graphics were great, and I love it's this fucking Super Bowl is what it is. It's the Super Bowl. It's an event. It's what's happening. It's a party. It's the thing. Let's watch it. Let's do it. Yeehaw. And then it's like, boy, these are really taking kind of a while to roll in. So that's what politics is. We've talked about this. It's entertainment. It's an entertainment product. Is it the best one? No. But 4 more years of Trump, we will see what happens. You know, my grand theory of him is relatively simple. I said it on the last stand-up thing that I released on here. He loves who loves him. When he just goes in the direction of what is working, that's what makes him an incredibly effective politician. He says one thing, it gets a cheer. He continues to say it. He's structured his life the way you make a stand-up comedy set. So when people like him, he likes them. Okay, we like each other. Boom. We can help each other out. Let's make a deal. As long as you like me. If you don't like me, fuck you forever. I'm going to kill you until you die. We can all relate to that. So now he has won a massive election. He hopefully feels he's gotten the love that he's been seeking for a long time. Maybe he'll calm down a little bit. Who knows? We will see. It's not the only thing going on in the world. The Russians sent bombs in a DHL. Do you know how frustrated that person must have been? The Russians sent bombs in like a DHL. They exploded in some warehouses in, I believe, Germany and England. And they're apparently test running an attack on America. And as someone who frequently online shops, I'm like, can you imagine the guy watching the tracking? He's like, DHL, what in the hell? My package has not showed up. I know this because I watch news. It has not shown up at destination. Nothing has go boom. DHL. Where is my package? I don't even know if this is Russian anymore. Why am I doing accents today? These aren't even good accents, but I think if I just make it as ridiculous as possible, it's DHL, where is my package? Is that good? I think that is kind of good. Where is my package? You know, that reminds me of that Scottish kid. It's my baby. Do you know that kid? You're going to know that kid. We're just going to watch videos of cool accents for the rest of the day. Scottish kid wondering if it's his birthday. Come on, baby. No. Yes. Born in June.
When was I born? June.
You were born in June.
Born in June, the same as my birthday?
Yeah. That's why you have a birthday, because that's when you were born.
I'm going to have a June birthday every single time.
Yeah.
Every single week?
Every year. Your birthday is in June.
That's my president. Born in June, the same as my birthday? Born in June, the same as my birthday? It's the same as my birthday. It's the same as your birthday. Every year you're going to have your birthday in June. Oh my God. I love it. We're having fun today, guys. This is the election special. And the show from here on out is going to be only videos of people with Scottish or Irish accents being excited about things we already know. It's Conor McGregor. Look at him. I know the moon rises. Okay? This dumb baby doesn't know his birthday is the same thing as his birthday. I'm just kidding. I love him. I don't mean to be mean. Born in June, the same as my baby. Yeah. I'm descending into chaos here. The point is the Russians try to fucking blow us up. What's going on, guys? You used fucking DHL, you pores. What is that? Isn't FedEx nicer? What's going on? I don't really know what's happening. So they tried to send some shit. I don't know. They're like, no, propaganda. We didn't. We know you fucking did. Trump's going to call him up. Vladimir, I told you. Not around the holidays, Vladimir. I said, you can do whatever you want to do. You want to blow up Hanukkah, that's fine. And not around Christmas, Vladimir. I mean, don't be sending bomb packages. It's the fucking holidays. You going to make me go shop in person? That's where people get shot. I'm shopping from my house where it's safe. Don't send explosives. What the fuck, dude? People need to chill the fuck out. I've had enough of this shit. I've had enough war. Trump says he's anti-war. If he continues doing that, credit where credit is due, I've long been attracted. That would be a good thing. Let's continue that. I like that. Keep that going. Support. Hard support. Big on that whole thing. Keep that rolling. But although sometimes you got to tell people, what? Sometimes you do have to tell people, step the fuck back. You know, it's like if some dude's like hitting on your girl, you're not going to be like, I'm a pacifist. You're going to be like, hey, I'll kill you. I will send a package to your house via DHL. It's an exploding butt plug. Yeah, don't put that in. You don't want to sit on that. That would have been awesome if that's what Israel did, is instead of exploding Hezbollah's pagers, they exploded butt plugs, and it taught us a lot more about Hezbollah. Like that I think people would have supported that. That would have even united the Middle East, because the rest of them would have been like, they're fucking gay, dude. But I don't think that that's how their chain of command works. Either that or they couldn't infiltrate that supply chain. Dirty episode when not a wholesome episode. I don't know. This one's kind of going all over the map. That's okay. Speaking of all over the map, Russia has deployed its North Korean soldiers in Ukraine. This is happening. We've covered it on this story. We have a fascination with all things Russia and North Korea. Fighting together in the Ukraine, not a great spring break. I mean, that's a mix of three places I don't really want to go. Ugh. Ukraine, but it's Russians and North Koreans. Yeah, I think I'll pass, sweetheart. But that's odd. I don't know where this goes. Like, who's the version? Like, you know, we are allied with Ukraine here. We are supporting them. Who do we send? Who's our version of North Koreans? You know, we got to send some version of that. Do we have like a disaffected, out of touch group? Do we send incels? That would be interesting. Incels should love war. Shouldn't they be the only soldiers? Like, that would be great, because then they're not distracted all the time trying to fuck. They're not like missing their, you know, wives or whatever. They're literally just like, no, I want to die and kill and not fuck. And it's just the boys. I know that there are women in the military, but you have an incel unit. That's the scariest unit on planet Earth. They're just fucking drinking Mountain Dew, staying up all night, being like, yeah, another thing. Women are so fucking weird. Maybe that's what war is. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Hey, it's been a weird week. It's been a fun time. This weekend, I will be in Houston, Texas at the Riot. Popping into Austin for a few days. We'll be popping on the Mothership. We'll be popping on other places. We'll be cementing my place in Donald Trump's cabinet. And looking forward to that. Very, very. It's just business meetings. I'm doing some shows, but I am out there going, get daddy into the administration. Please. Please, please, please. I would be good at things. I don't really want to like do the nitty gritty, but I'm not getting that vibe. I'm not doing policy. I just want to have a cool job where I get to tell people like, put that over there. Minister of Vibe? Don't we need one? Doesn't the country need a minister of vibe? Because the vibes have been just kind of crazy. Everyone's all mad. Everyone's got their lawn signs. Enough. It's over. It happened. There's a clear winner. Isn't it nice when people acknowledge that instead of being pieces of shit about it? That is nice. But here we are. Anyway, Houston, Greenwood Village, Colorado. I think basically Denver, November 18th. San Jose coming up after that. We just added shows at Olsen Run in Eugene, Oregon. We've added Atlanta. We've added Nashville. I've got some real Austin shows coming up in January. Those will be up here probably the next week. But joeyavery.com/live for that. If you want to see my an extended part of my set from Portland, that's right here on this channel. Starts with some political jokes, goes into some crowd work. If you go to my main channel, you'll see it right there. Give it a watch. Give it a like. People seem to be liking it, at least from my standards. Anyway, that's all I can do for this week, folks. That's what we got. That's what we got. That's an hour of hot political content, election-based, but based in realism. Fun content is what we do here. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. This has been The Joey Show. I'm Joey Avery. Good night. Thank God I have a podcast.